You're thinking about starting a business? Maybe you're already operating informally, and Georgia, especially Atlanta, keeps coming up as a great place to do it. Then you start Googling how to form an LLC, and suddenly it's forms, fees, deadlines, and about 10 different opinions. Sound familiar? Yeah, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to start an LLC in Georgia, step by step in plain English. No legal jargon, no guessing. We'll talk about naming your LLC, filing through Georgia's eCorp system, the actual costs involved, annual requirements, and one Georgia-specific detail that people often overlook and end up regretting later. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'll also show you how to set this up without spending hours on state websites or stressing about compliance. Quick intro if you're new here. I'm Bobby Casey, founder of BusinessAnywhere. I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs, U.S. residents, expats, and digital nomads form U.S. companies 100% remotely. I've seen the clean setups, the messy ones, and the "why didn't anyone tell me this earlier" moments. So let's make sure you do this the smart way. All right, let's zoom out for a second. Why Georgia? Georgia is one of the biggest entrepreneurship hubs in the U.S., especially around Atlanta. You've got a strong startup scene, access to talent, and a state that generally makes LLC formation pretty straightforward. The filing is fully online, the upfront cost is reasonable, and while Georgia does have ongoing requirements, they're simple if you know what to expect. Here's a quick example. Tanya runs a small branding agency in Atlanta. She initially thought she needed a Delaware LLC because that's what she kept hearing online. But once she realized she'd still need to register as a foreign LLC in Georgia and manage 2 states instead of 1, she changed course and formed directly in Georgia. One system, one set of deadlines, much easier to manage. Whoa. All right, let's break this down step by step. First up, choosing your LLC name. In Georgia, your LLC name has to be distinguishable from other businesses in the state and include LLC, LLC, or limited liability company at the end. Before you get attached to a name, you'll want to search availability using Georgia's eCorp business search. Now here's a Georgia-specific nuance that trips people up. Georgia doesn't technically require you to reserve your LLC name before filing, but the state strongly encourages it. A name reservation holds your name for 30 days and costs $25. It's optional, but if you're not filing immediately, reserving the name can save you from losing it while you're getting everything else ready. All right, next up, your registered agent. Every Georgia LLC must have a registered agent with a physical address in Georgia. This is the person or company that receives legal documents and official state notices for your business. And no, P.O. boxes don't count here. You can be your own registered agent if you live in Georgia, but keep in mind your address becomes public record. Filing your articles of organization. In Georgia, this is done online through the Secretary of State's eCorp system. The filing fee is $100 and processing is usually pretty quick. When you file, you'll provide your LLC name, registered agent information, principal office address, and organizer details. Once the state approves it, your Georgia LLC legally exists. Let's talk about your operating agreement. Georgia doesn't legally require an operating agreement, but you absolutely want one. This document explains who owns the LLC, how decisions are made, how profits are split, and what happens if something changes later. Next up, your EIN. Your EIN, or Employer Identification Number, is your business's federal ID number. You'll need it to open a business bank account, hire employees, and file taxes. The good news is it's completely free and only takes a few minutes to get directly from the IRS website. Once you've got your EIN, you're ready to open a business bank account. And this part really matters. Always keep your business and personal finances separate. Mixing them can weaken your liability protection. Most banks will ask for your articles of organization, EIN, operating agreement, and a valid government-issued ID. If you're not physically in the U.S., you'll also need a legitimate U.S. business address for banking and compliance. Not a friend's address, but a real one. All right, now let's talk about what happens after your LLC is formed. Georgia's ongoing requirements. Unlike some states, Georgia does require an annual registration for LLCs. Every year, you'll need to file an annual registration through the eCorp system. The fee is $50 and it's due between January 1st and April 1st. This filing keeps your business information up to date and your LLC in good standing. Miss the deadline and you'll face late fees and eventually administrative dissolution. So this is one deadline you definitely want to stay on top of. To start an LLC in Georgia, you choose a name, optionally reserve it, appoint a registered agent, file your articles of organization through Georgia eCorp for $100, create an operating agreement, get your EIN, open a business bank account, and file your $50 annual registration each year. If you're thinking, okay, I could do this, but I'd really rather not deal with the forms and deadlines, that's exactly why we built BusinessAnywhere. We'll form your Georgia LLC for free. You only pay the $100 state filing fee. We include your first year of registered agent service at no extra cost, help with your EIN and operating agreement, send compliance reminders, and even provide a legitimate U.S. business address if you need one. So if you want the simple, done-for-you setup, check out BusinessAnywhere. The link's in the description. And before you go, let me know in the comments, are you forming your LLC in Georgia or comparing Georgia with another state like Florida or Texas? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.